Hey everyone, it's Key. So today we're going to be talking about a hoarder house that I ended up walking through and making an offer on. I'm going to be literally showing you the hoarder house as well as crunch numbers with you. So I'll be talking about the offer price as well as the list price and the ARV and the rental cost. I'm having a bad hair day, so hopefully you can still see me, but let's get into it. And I'm watching off my phone, but you'll see it. All right, so this is when you come into the house. I didn't bring my camera with me. This was all recorded off of my cell phone. This is kind of the kitchen area. So let me even back up. Before I saw, this place was on the market for like 2 weeks, and it was like up and coming, you know. Yeah, actually, let me pause the video. So it was up and coming on Zillow for about 2 weeks. The first week I saw it, it was listed for $170 with 2 bedroom. Had a really good square footage. I can't remember it off the top of my head. I think it was maybe 14, or maybe 1,500 worth of square feet. So I was like, oh, that's pretty good for a 2 bedroom. Any of my properties, I am always looking at how can I squeeze more rooms in it. So again, I'm a Section 8 investor. The more rooms you have, the more money, right? This is in Capitol Heights, Maryland, which is literally like, I think this was like 2 minutes outside of DC. I watched it on the market. I called the agent like, hey, because it said up and coming. The agent said, hey, it is a hoarder house. The owner literally can't take care of themselves. So we're going through the court process to be able to pretty much show the place, as well as having everyone who's going to come look at it, prospective buyers, they're going to have to sign a waiver. I ended up viewing it 2 times. The second one was with my contractor. I brought a mask, gloves, tied back my hair, of course, and then wore shoes I knew I was gonna like throw away afterwards. I'm looking at that looks to me, when I see that, I think water damage. So my mind hops to, is there something wrong with the roof, especially if it's in the ceiling? This is the kitchen. I already knew this was gonna need a completely new kitchen. Literally like a full gut kitchen. Nothing was salvageable in this house, actually. For me, like a rule of thumb, I always say like $20,000 for a kitchen and then $10,000 for a bathroom. Granted, if a contractor was to quote me like $20,000 for a kitchen or $15,000 for a bathroom, I do feel like that's pretty reasonable. And we're just talking about like a really nice bathroom, a nice kitchen, nothing like fancy over the top, like nice, right? For that price range, and that's material included. So this is my actual agent. Okay, that's a really weird angle. Okay, stove would need new appliances, and that quote would not include appliances. So I don't know what him and I are talking about right now. Oh, we see that there was downstairs. You can go to the basement. And I'm looking at like, I think I'm talking to him. I'm just like, yeah, we're gonna have to demo the whole thing. Oh, and I think there was a door to your left, which you can't really see. Why am I on? I'm sorry, you guys. This is, I didn't even know I was pointing at it, right? I also am like respectful when I record people. Like I'm the type of person, I feel awkward bringing my camera out. So that's why I'm kind of pointing it to the ground when I'm talking to him, because I don't want to get him on camera, because that's not what I'm here for, right? I'm here to record. I don't even, like today I was looking at 6 places in Baltimore. I didn't even bring my camera. Like I'm just knee deep in it. It was only last minute where I was like, let me record. Again, didn't bring my camera, recording off my phone. All right, would need a complete gut. Like the complete gut on the bathroom. Complete gut. Again, so $10,000. My contractor ended up quoting me $15,000. Again, I mean, for that bathroom, it's like, yeah, I think it could be done in 10. Materials included, of course. Okay. I'm just looking. All right, so that's 1 bedroom. So Maryland, actually, it's not deemed a bedroom if you have to walk through 1 room to get to the next. So we just walked through a bedroom, and now this is another bedroom. So the agent, it was originally listed at $170. 170, but by the time we saw it, by the time it went live, it was actually, the asking price was 210. The agent was like, oh, we found another bedroom. What ended up happening, so there's not 3 bedrooms in this, right? This was a 2-bedroom, 2-den. And the reason why, to get to the 2 rooms, you had to walk through bedrooms. So again, by Maryland standard and DC2, to get to 1 bedroom, you cannot access another bedroom. So at this point, I'm like thinking like, what is the most seamless way I can add a true 3rd bedroom and make this work, right? So right here, that's a bedroom to the left, and then kind of to the right is another bedroom. But technically the 2 that hang off of that, right, were not bedrooms. You see that? It's a den, because you have to walk through that main bedroom to get to that back bedroom, which is a den. So the second time I came back here, I met with the contractor, and they were saying like, we actually thought of a seamless way you can add turn the den into first I was floating the idea of like, okay, one of the dens, just make it to a 2nd bedroom. So it's a 2-bedroom, 2 bath. But then they were like, oh, we got to knock down walls and all this stuff to make the den, one of the dens, accessible as a bedroom. And I was like, actually, you can just put up drywall right here, right? So I'm always thinking about what's the most seamless way to get something done. Of course, your contractors, they're going to be thinking about what's the most like challenging way so I can make more money. So that's something I always think about. That wall on the ceiling, my land agent was saying like, oh, I think that's water damage. That's not. You usually see those walls when there is lazy contractors who just put 2 pieces of drywall together. They may or may not put tape. Let's say they put tape. I would hope so. And don't plaster it and then sand it. They just literally put the tape sometimes and then just paint over it. Or sometimes they'll put the tape, they won't even nail it, right? Which you're supposed to do. They'll just plaster it and then paint over it. So that's when you start getting that splitting or that line down the, drywall. As you can see, completely new bathroom is needed. It is so bad in this bathroom. Look at the ceiling. That's just paint. That's just paint being scratched off. It's not water damage. I asked my contractor. They're like, the paint's just peeling. This house was old. I think this house was like maybe 1940. So, yeah. So I'm standing here trying to think. Okay, so I think here we're actually going to go downstairs to that's another potential buyer. You'll be surprised. So both times I came, some people literally this one person like walked in and then walked out. Some people like walked at the door and was like, and walked away. So I do think the amount of trash was intimidating. I mean, I do know I have guys that could probably dump this all for like $3,000. I'm sure it's not as intimidating if it was empty, but it is pretty intimidating when you see all of this trash, right? All right, let's just fast forward a little bit. Okay, this is me. I still keep looking at these bedrooms. Like, how do I add a bedroom? How do I turn one of those dens into a bedroom? How do I turn one of these dens into... So I was like really perplexed. Like I was like, but it's actually a pretty simple, it ended up being simple, honestly. It ended up actually being really simple. So this would have been my first Burr. I'm gonna be honest with you. This was a little intimidating. Again, this is my first Burr. I am usually in the business of just buy turnkey and hold, but I do know the best play is Burr, because you then can get a bridge loan, pretty much leverage that equity in your property and just keep rinsing and repeat, right? So that's why I was attracted to this. We'll talk numbers afterwards. Okay, this is the basement. This is the basement. I'm just looking at the water heater. I always look at the year of the water heater and the year of the HVAC system. Generally, the rule of thumb is that they should be like replaced anywhere from 15 to 20 years. So when I see some that are creeping up on 20 years, that is notice for me that if I purchase, then I'm gonna have to replace it shortly thereafter. Especially if it's a water heater, you're at risk of the bottom corroding and a flood. So, or a leak. So I just always look at the year of water heater and HVAC. All right, I don't want to make this video too long. Let's go. All right, I'm looking at the panel. The electrical panel did not need a heavy up at all, which is surprising. The owner did electrical work in there, so it was up to standard. And you would know it would need a heavy up if it had like 3 or 4. What do you call those black things? I'm blanking. But if you saw like 3 or 4, then especially on a house this age, you'd like, okay, it would need a heavy up. And heavy ups are really expensive. They are very expensive. Very, very expensive. All right. Okay, let's go outside and then we can talk about, this basement was crazy. I don't know if I recorded outside. All right, let's just go outside really quickly. I mean, there's nothing really much to see outside, but we'll talk numbers as we go outside. So you could just see outside. So asking was 210. So I ended up doing a second walkthrough with my contractor. They told me that the construction would be anywhere from 150 to 170. They are an expensive construction team. I will not lie. They come highly recommended from my mentor, Dr. Joe. I know I could have done this realistically in 100K, probably 100K. This house does need a lot of work, I'm not gonna lie. So let's say 100K. The ARV for this was looking like, again, for a 3-bedroom, 1 bath and 1 den was looking like it would be anywhere around 330, give or take. So I do the 70% rule. So 70% of 330 came in at, off the top of my head, let's see. I think it came in at 233. Let's just do it live right now. 330 times 0.70. Yeah, 231. I would have to be all in at 231. So purchase price, monthly payments, and reno. So it only made sense for me. So even, let's say 150, right? I could have talked them down to 100. But even if I did 100, right? 100 minus 231 brings me at 131. That doesn't even factor in the monthly payments. It doesn't factor that in. So that means I should have made an offer of 131. I'm conservative. Again, this is gonna be my first Burr. I came in at 120. I'm not gonna lie. I could have probably came in higher and closed with like no equity in the house, right? Like I just wanted to close with cash in hand because that's how I want my first Burr to be. Capitol Heights, granted, like it appreciates, but it's not like DC. If this property was in DC, I probably would have just did closer or tighter numbers. I wouldn't have done 70%. I probably would have been comfortable with like 80 or even 90. But my lender, for a first time Burr investor, my lender is saying that they could only give me up to 100K in reno. Or some other lenders that would give higher numbers for a first timer. But I like my lender. It's my brother. I'll actually put his contact below. Really competitive rates. So I came in at 120. The seller's agent said it was the lowest offer. But again, this was a deal I was okay with walking away. I just think this is a heavy lift in I wanted to close with equity to do the Burr method properly, and the numbers just were not there. So I'm okay with walking away from a deal like this. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and thank you for watching. Bye.